You're watching the Batter Fans Network.
The heroes are back. Beards talking balls, rapping pink and black. Coming live from the 305, it's official tissue. The Batter Fan, Chris and Dan, weekly rocking with you. We talk Messi, Boosie, Jordy, Lucho, the Fat Four, to Ben Cram, Noah, Ruiz, Fred. What more could you ask for? Tighten up and get ready, listen in on the pod. Solana and X in Espanol, just to even the odds. Breakdowns and gas bagging, join the tribe and just vibe. $3.99, don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't hesitate, say what's up, go ahead and come in. No question about it, I'm ready to get hurt again.
No question about it, I am ready to get hurt again.
Chris, the Heroes are back. Welcome everybody to episode 439 of the Batter Heroes Podcast. I'm your host, Daniel Granada, and alongside me, as always, the KBD. How are you doing, sir?
So far, so good. The viruses have not attacked the show just yet. I actually see the little Wi-Fi thing popping up in our stream here, so it might change, but we'll see how it works out.
Soccer Daddy's asking, was Danny busy making thumbnail? No, I actually didn't have any time to make the thumbnail. That's why if you see the thumbnail, it's as basic could be. I was actually putting my son to bed, and then as I was setting up my lights, one of the lights exploded on me. So that obviously took a couple minutes to clean up and put in a new light. It actually kind of too bright. So, but without further ado, we are here to talk starting 11 battles. This is something that Chris and I have been talking about over the last week. Playoffs are coming, and there are certain positions that we are questioning who should start, who will start. So we figured we'd turn this into an episode since we've been talking about it. And Chris is freezing here and there already, but let's see if we can make it through this, Chris. Chris, are you ready to talk a little?
Fight.
Mortal Kombat. Oh, no. Chris is frozen. This should be...
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to do what I did. Yeah, I mean, this is a disaster. Like the MLS show, it had no problems, and this one, I'm probably just gonna have to do the same thing again.
You know what?
I was playing Roblox while you were gone, so maybe that's why I got extra viruses.
The best part of this is that I'm like, Chris, you said you're gonna get a new computer. Why don't you just get a computer? And he says, no, because the computer I want is too expensive. And I refuse to get something that's cheaper. So here we are.
Quality over quantity. Okay, so far we're doing good.
Are we? All right.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right. I'll jump on my phone.
All right. So let's get started while Chris goes ahead. We are going to be putting up a couple starting battles because obviously we know that there are some positions that we feel are up for grabs. And I will start with the fact that there are some jobs that we know 100% for sure are a shoo-in. We know Messi starting, no question about it. We know Jordi Alba starting, no question about it. We know Luis Suarez is starting, no question about it. But there are a couple other positions that we could, even if we think we know what team is or what player is going to start, I think there is a room for debate. And we are going to talk about those. So I'm going to wait for Chris to go ahead and come back on before I bring up the first one. So while he does that, let me do something that I don't usually do because Chris usually does this. Let me go through the chat and see what people are talking about. Pedri Potter, shout out to Svelti for knocking out Colombia. You misspelled Colombia. Otherwise, people like Danny have misconceptions and consider themselves a top 3 in South America. Okay? How about you just celebrate Argentina winning, Pedri? Yes, so shout out to Argentina for making it to the final of the U20 World Cup. Svelti went ahead and he scored the only goal in the game, the difference maker. So shout out to him. Soccer Daddy saying Allende should start. So I'm hearing some feedback, Chris. One World, One Girl. Interesting fact, Christopher Columbus is Colombo in Italian, and Colombia is all O's. Okay.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't know either, but shout out to Italia. Ricky, you sound like you are underwater. I think that's for Chris. I'm hoping, because if it's for me, then I got a problem. I think we could go ahead and keep moving along now. Chris, you're back like an asthma attack. You ready to go?
Yes, I am ready to rock and roll. We've been talking about this episode, I think since last week. And I think this is gonna be probably the best time to talk about this.
And real quick, Elmer, Messi should start the first half. Of what game are we talking about? He should start the first half of the Nashville game. I'm curious as to what you're talking about. I want Messi to start that game. I want him to get 5 goals or 5 goal contributions. I want him to tie the record for most goal contributions in a season. So I want him to play and I want him to kick ass. Enrique saying Nashville. No, I want him to play the whole game. I want him to put up as many numbers as he can. All right. So here we go, Chris. Are you ready? Now, where do you want to start?
Yes.
You want to start from the back forward? You want to start from the forward back? How do you want to do this?
So I think I want to start with I mean, I don't know where you have it left, and I just want to kind of show everybody a little behind the scenes here. I don't know how this is gonna work, but we're just gonna go for it. No, I don't think I can. I have no idea what I just did right now. I think I changed the whole thing. Can you fix that, Danny, please? Like,
Yeah,
I have
yes,
no
yes, I
idea what
can.
I'm doing. So
There
I'm
you
gonna
go.
show this real quick. So
Mm-hmm.
back triple camera, what in the world? So I don't know if this is normal, but like my task manager is showing that my Google Chrome is like running at like 80, 90, 100%. That's a disaster.
Those are all
So
viruses.
I mean,
You're
it's literally Roblox.
yeah.
So let's go.
Messi looked tired. I didn't think he looked tired. All right, Chris, here we go. And obviously, like always, we want the chat to chime in. I guess we'll start from the back forward, Chris. Or
Sure.
all right, so here we go. The first one of the battles, we have Rocco Blocco versus Ustari. Now, I know that this topic is near and dear to your heart. I know who you want to start. So I guess we'll go. Who do you think will start, and who do you think should start?
So
Chris
I'll
and
tell you
chat.
that I'll tell you this. I just saw that Rocco was made available to the media this morning. So the media had their chance to kind of interview, him, and I think it was Baltasar Rodriguez. Now, why would Rocco be made available to the media before the game against Nashville? Like, that's insane to me. Now, mind you, Ustadi to me is a more seasoned goalkeeper, I guess, but he is literally at the end of his career. His athleticism, in my opinion, is not as good as Rocco
Rocco's.
Blocco. And as far as like ball with feet with the ball is concerned, like Rocco seems pretty good at it, better than Drake Callender, in my opinion. So on top of that, you have now Mascherano's been playing Rocco. Why the hell are we starting to throw a fork in all of this? You should have rode with Ustadi. Don't even show us Rocco. Now Rocco looks like he's on fire. And now you kind of just shot yourself in the foot because whoever you go with, you're just going to get contradicted if we lose the game. In my opinion, I think that we should just ride through with Rocco.
Okay, so there's two trains of thought here on the chat. Some people are saying Rocco because Rocco obviously is more athletic and he got the clean sheet last week. Now, as
Yeah.
far as being good with his feet, I still haven't seen Rocco necessarily be good with the ball at his feet. I do know that Ustari is. I do
He could
know
dance
that
a little
Ustari
bit.
does a. I do know that Ustari does a good job of timing those runs when he sees that there's a 50-50 ball on his way on a counterattack, one of those long balls that the opponents kick over the top. I think Ustari will be the starter because of the experience. And if I had to pick, even though Ustari, I think, has not looked very good recently, I'm hoping that with the couple weeks that he's had to rest, kind of like right before the Club World Cup, where he had a couple weeks to rest and then he came out and the experience kind of shined through in the big moments. I'm hoping
Yeah.
we get kind of that Ustadi again for the playoffs. So I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say Uftari. I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like this is the position that I'm most worried about because I don't feel good with either one of them, honestly. But if I had to pick one, I think I would go with the experience. I would go with Ustadi over Rocco, strictly because of the experience. But to be frank, I don't feel comfortable with either one of these. I hope that we have a new goalkeeper for the next season.
This is another reason. I mean, Pedro Potter, welcome back. Hashtag free speech. Very American, by the way, Pedri. Rocco, because he's good at penalties, crucial in knockouts. Also, he keeps clean sheets.
All right.
And
Well,
Rinke saying bring Drake back.
so who do you think Mascherano is going to go with?
I think for Nashville, he's gonna go with Rocco. What I'm
Mhm.
assuming he's doing here is he's saying, I'm gonna give you a real opponent this time. Based on how you play against this real opponent,
Yeah.
is will base his decision in the
Okay.
playoffs.
I can see that.
So I think what he's doing is he's challenging Rocco and saying, if you come out with a clean sheet or allow just one goal and you look amazing, then you're holding on and you're playing the playoffs. But if
Okay.
you allow 2 goals or more, I'm giving it straight to Ustadi and you're riding the pine again.
Okay. You know what? That's not a bad analysis. I could see that. I could see that he's giving him like, you know what? You've looked decent the last 2 games.
Yeah.
Even though Atlanta didn't really challenge him much. But let's put him out there against Nashville, which has been a solid team. And let's see what he can do. And if he does well, then maybe he does earn that playoff spot. So yeah, I think that's a good breakdown by you. So yeah.
Yeah.
So as of right now, the way it stands at the moment, I think Uftadi starts. But yeah, maybe depending on the Nashville game, maybe Rocco wins it. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the fact that I think that Uftadi, because of the experience, will get the nod. All right, so let's move on to the center backs. This is fun. So we have 2 spots. We have 4 players. We're not going to include Ryan Saylor because we don't think Ryan Saylor is going to get the start.
Yeah.
So I ask you, Chris, of the 4, who's going to get the 2 spots? Because for a while, I thought that it was Lujan and Falcon, almost a shoo-in. I've always wanted Toto Aviles to get the chance, even though I understand that he makes those boneheaded plays here and there, and that costs him, right? Because he can have a glorious 85 minutes, but those 1 or 2 bad fouls all of a sudden throws that all away. Who would you go with as your starting pair in the back line, not only for Nashville, but going into the playoffs?
So the easy answer is what everybody's saying right now. Alan and Falcon. CS said it, Reaper saying it, Stalker Daddy saying it, Mr. Krabs is saying it. Like, I'll tell you right now, I wish that Toto Aviles had more opportunities to play. I'm gonna give a shout out to Scotty Tuhati over at Dry Pink. He said that if Toto Aviles would have more opportunities, he'd probably get the start or be the better starter over Falcon. Because what they do is they both offer pretty good pace and different traits to be able to cover whatever it is that needs to be covered on defense. Idealistically, I would love a Noah Allen and Aviles pairing, but unfortunately, Aviles just hasn't had the fair share of minutes. Gonzalo Lujan is a garbage bag. So at this point, just because Noah Allen and Falcon have played well together, I think that they are the clear-cut starters.
I think Toto Aviles is probably the best of the 4, but he's also the most boneheaded. He has the most
Yes.
potential. When he's on his game, I think he looks
Yeah.
the best. But again, that 1 or 2 fouls could cost you the game.
Yeah.
And it has in the past. So for that reason, although I think Toto Aviles is the most talented and has the most potential, I don't think he gets to start just for that reason. I mean, and look, for the majority of the season, he hasn't been getting the starts because he hasn't been able to mature as a player yet. Lujan, we both agree we're not big fans of Lujan. So I think Falcon and Noah Allen would be the pairing. I think that having Falcon and Aviles would be a great pairing also because, like you said, they're similar players. Aviles and Noah Allen would also be good because they're pacey guys. But I don't think that Toto Aviles will get the start, I think it will be Noah Allen and Falcon. And judging by the last month and a half or so, I think that Mascherano's kind of just been comfortable with that.
I mean, I don't understand how. Like, I mean, Soccer Daddy's saying Lujan is not a garbage bag. I mean, Lujan has blown many times spaces and has allowed goals. As a defender, unfortunately, you're put in a situation where you might be allowing some goals. But dude, I mean, this guy's had 25 games played, 20 started. You know, I just don't
Well,
understand. Yeah, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, well, the thing with Lujan is that when we've gone back to see the goals that kind of he's allowed, it feels like almost always his back is to the player that is receiving the ball that he should be marking. And if your back is turned to the player that you are marking and is scoring that goal, I mean, I don't know what you're doing, but you're getting turned around way too much. I think Lujan is of the four, I think by far and away he is in fourth place for center back.
This guy, if I tell you that Lujan has started more games than Falcon, would you believe me?
I'm I'm sorry. Could you repeat that?
Because hold on, I'm looking here. Gonzalo Lujan has played more games than Falcon has.
Oh, I don't doubt that. Lujan was a certified starter either at right back or center back
Yeah,
for the majority of this year. It's just over the last month and a half or so that things have changed.
yeah.
Now, I will tell you, and somebody put it out there, I think it was David, a pairing of Frey and Toto would be intriguing. That I would love because I love center backs with
Oh,
size on top of
that's
having
good.
pay. That to me would be ideal. I've always wanted to see Frey play center back. He's been put at right back, which I think he's been great at right back also. But him at center back with Toto Aviles, I think that would be a great pairing. I don't think we're going to see that, obviously. I think, but we'll talk about the whole right back situation in a moment.
Yeah,
So we both agree. We think Noah Allen and Falcon will be those starters,
yeah,
and we think Mascherano is going to stick with that also.
yeah. I would believe so.
All right. So let me move on here to the right backs. So we have Ian Frey and Chelo Egan. So I think we both prefer Frey.
I think ideally Frey would be the better option. It's just you're starting off the game with a sort of offensive minded right back that can be able to take some attention away from the left side, and he still plays defense fairly well, right? With Weigant, you get this supposed better defender. He's also got turnstiles
But
many
you know what?
times.
I've heard you say that a few times. I think Ian Frey's a better defender than he is.
Yeah, but I think the way that I see it, or at least feel the vibes from the coaching staff and whatever, it seems as if they look at Weigant as like the defensive juggernaut, and he doesn't supply me much on offense, and they bring on Ian Frey for this offensive, assistance, if you will, or to start off the game on all cylinders offensively. But like I said, that's just like mind stuff, in my opinion. And like you said, Frey plays good defense. But I think that the mindset of the coaching staff is just like, well, Weigant's a better defender, and we need him for defense.
I don't think it's that he's a better defender. It's that I don't think that he takes as many chances as Frey does pushing up.
Yeah,
Because Frey will get up there, he'll make that overlapping run, he'll get the ball on the touch line, and he'll try to dribble his way into the box or find a cross. Whereas in Cello will only make that run when he sees the space, right? Frey will make that run just about always, but Cello waits until he sees that space, and Cello isn't trying to dribble through defenders. Cello will get the ball and he'll put a nice cross into the middle of the box. We've seen him have a couple of assists this season. But I think Cello is more straightforward. He isn't as doesn't take as many chances as Frey, and he doesn't try to take defenders on. So I think that is why you might, and I think the general consensus is Cello is more defensive. It's just because he doesn't take as many chances on the attack. He doesn't push up as often, and he's usually in position waiting to defend. Whereas in Frey is usually retreating to get back on defense.
well, and David is mentioning here that Frey's better, but sometimes he tends to push up. higher, which leaves
Right.
leaves our defense vulnerable. But
And that's what I was saying. Yeah.
I mean, but he recovers. I mean, other than that, and he still recovers. I mean, Cello sometimes doesn't recover. Sometimes, but when Cello pushes up, what are you getting out of that?
Like I said, when he finds the space, he has put in a couple of nice crosses. Look, I've been a Cello defender on here all year because a lot of people hate on Cello, and I told you, Cello is not a bad player. I just think Frey is better. But for everybody that says, "Oh my God, Cello is a good player." When Cello's out there, I'm not worried. I'm not thinking to myself like I do when I see Lujan out there. Like, oh
Yeah,
my God, Cello's out there. I never think that. I think, okay, Cello's out there. He's solid. I'm okay with Cello being out there.
yeah,
I just think that Frey gives you more on the attack, and I also think he's a better defender. He's a bigger body. He bodies people off the ball. Like I
yeah,
just like Frey overall.
yeah. I'm with it. Frey all the way.
Yeah. All right. So and Mascherano has agreed with us for the most part of the year.
Yeah. So I guess we know football.
I guess so. All right. So that's that battle. All right. Let's see what battle we want to go into. Okay. So I guess we'll go into the center defensive midfield right here. 2 spots because we play a double pivot, 3 players. Now, I think that this is almost obvious the way it's going to turn out, but I'm going to ask you anyway, and I'm going to ask you what you think Mascherano is going to do. Well, but let's start off. You and I both agree, I think. We think Bussier and Rodrigo de Paul will get the start.
Yeah, I think essentially
Okay.
it's just gonna fall with them getting the start and Yannick Bright just sitting on the pine.
Now, what would you do?
What I would do honestly is, wow, it's really tough, really, because do you hope that Rodrigo de Paul finally starts to play better football?
Well,
Like,
I don't think it's better football. I think it's more the word is an urgency. But the way he plays for Argentina, right? Because you know how they say, and it's true, right? It's always country over club. But I feel like
yeah.
when he puts on that Argentina shirt, he's like
So is he a James? He's
going
an
full,
Argentine James?
going full effort. We need him going full effort. If he goes full effort, then maybe you don't lose a lot. The worry here is Busi can't defend. Rodrigo de Paul can defend. He's just not put in the effort so
Yeah.
far while he's been here. But if he sees, okay, this is a winner go home game, maybe he turns it on and maybe we don't feel as bad. My worry is that what Bright gives us defensively, we're losing with both Busquets and Rodrigo de Paul. Now I'm looking forward to next year because I think Bright and de Paul next to each other as a double pivot,
Yeah.
it would be great. But as of right now, you can't bench Busi. And honestly, because he's about to retire, I don't want him to bench Busi. I want Busi to start. Eff it. Go out on top as you're playing. But I'm with you. I'm okay with this pairing. I just need Rodrigo de Paul to give effort.
If Rodrigo de Paul was playing like the Rodrigo de Paul of Atletico Madrid, then I would honestly play Rodrigo de Paul and Bright
And
and
put in
have
Busquets
Boosie
as a
come
sub.
in. Yeah, because that will sort of help us contain better on defense. And you're literally bringing a fresh perspective of the game, a quarterback, if you will, that's going to be able to open this game up when everybody is gassed. That's the way that I would play it. Now, I don't know. Unfortunately, Bright's just going to have to hit the bench because those two guys aren't going to hit the bench.
No.
Boosie's going to get played. Rodrigo de Paul's going to get played. And it's unfortunate because, to be quite frank, and the agenda is real, my friends. Unfortunately, just so you guys are completely aware, Bright has been playing better than any of those other 2 guys that are on that picture consistently this year.
I agree. I don't think many people would disagree.
Shout out to Cringe with a 4.99 Super Slam says Silvetti is crushing the U20. Hope it translates to club play.
Well, he has. And I was saying this with Chris from Hair on Heads the other day. If you're watching the U20 World Cup and you see Silvetti the way he's playing, and you're like, oof, I would love that guy on Inter Miami. Could you imagine what he would do on here?
Yeah.
But you watch him, you see how he's playing, and you don't have to hope, like, man, we would really like a player like that. No. We got a player like that. We have that player. Like, he's ours. We just
Yes.
haven't seen him much. But he
Yeah.
is ours. He is our player, and he's gonna be here in time for the playoffs. So we have talent up and down this roster all of a sudden. Look at the conversations we've had so far outside of goalkeeper. If you have Toto Aviles coming off the bench, that's pretty good. If you have Chelo Wagon, which will probably be a starting right back for 25 out of these 30 MLS teams,
Absolutely.
that's pretty good. If you have
Yes.
Yannick Bright coming off the bench,
That's pretty good.
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden, I'm looking at this roster and I'm thinking to myself, you know what? Not bad.
Not bad at all.
So I'm looking. I'm feeling pretty good about the squad as this year comes to a close. But I think we agree. Rodrigo de Paul and Busquets get the start. Bright comes off the bench, fresh legs to kind of shut down that defense, the attack. I'm sorry, but I'm feeling pretty good about that. All right, we have two left. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready for it, and I'm assuming you're going to transition right into it.
Yes, I am. I'm just making sure I choose the correct one, and here it is.
There we go, right there. You guys asked for it. You brought him up. Say his name, and he appears. Silvetti is
So
here.
before we keep going, real quick, let me see. Let me pull this up. So, at the moment, we have said we believe that the two center backs will be Noah Allen and Falcon. Frey and
Yes.
Alba, the right and left back. We don't know about Rocco Uftari. We believe that Busquets and Rodrigo de Paul are the pivots, the double pivots. We know
Yeah.
Messi and Suarez are going to be up top. So the question now is left and right mid. Okay, so I just wanted to put that out there just to get an image of what we got. Those are the last question marks. So Allende right now on the right side, but Silvetti will come back. So he will be back in time for the playoffs. So maybe not this game, but right there on that right side, instead of Allende, it could be Silvetti. So my question is for the chat and for you, Chris, do we bring Silvetti off the bench or do we go ahead and start Allende? And do we start Allende and bring Silvetti off the bench or do we start Silvetti?
So here's the thing, right? When it comes to Allende, you look at the stats. He has 11 goals so far in the MLS season. It's a little skewed because he hit big in the beginning, had a terrible drought, worthless, and then in the last couple games, he's put up a couple goals. Now, starting Allende, a lot of people like it because he stretches the field and he gives us that versatility that we don't have with any other player, right? And then Silvetti, when he comes on, he's a lunatic. So you're gonna get the amped player coming on the pitch off the bench. But here's the thing: Silvetti, since he's gotten here, has looked good. He started and he looked good. The only concern I have with this, and if it wasn't for this, I would go Silvetti. But because of the simple fact that he's been out playing for Argentina, when he comes back, how well is he going to gel with the team? You understand what I'm saying? So, if he played over these last couple games, I guarantee you he'd have goals. And I'd say Allende sit the pine, and I'm going to go with Silvetti. I think Silvetti should start, but I think that Mascherano is going to go with Allende. And Reaper is saying Silvetti super sub.
I agree with you. I think that Silvetti will be a super sub. I think that Allende will get the start. And look, Silvetti didn't have to feed the ball to anybody like Messi when he's been playing for the U20s, right? He doesn't have a Messi to feed the ball to. It's kind of just it's his if he wants to take it. Now I think it's going to take a little more to go ahead and gel with these players. But you know what? I would do it for the first round, right? It's 2 games, possibly 3. But if we get out of the first round and Silvetti is going ahead and being that super sub for the last 20, 25 minutes of each game, and he looks really good those 2 or 3 games, once we get to the quarterfinals of the Eastern Conference Finals, I wanted to see him start. Because I'm okay with that slow transition because he hasn't had a chance to play with the rest of the team very often. But I would like to see him in these big games get the majority of the minutes if he proves that he can kind of fit in with the team in those 2 or 3 sub spots. So I'm with you. I think Allende's to start. I mean, I don't know if we're going to be yelling at the TV if he blows 1 or 2 chances in the first half, and we start saying,
Yeah.
"Oh, Silvetti would have drilled that." But
Yeah.
but as of right now, yes, I agree with you.
And look, Isaiah is mentioning something here. Silvetti as our X factor. But guys, as much as you guys love Allende with his line, breaking runs and this tactical, running he does, he can come in against a tired defense in the 65th, 70th minute and do all those line breaking runs you guys beg him to do. So he could be an X factor as well. Like in reality, in my opinion, the wings are probably the most competitive.
Yeah, no, and then that leads us to our final little battle here, and let me pull it up. We have Tadeo Allende. Sorry, Jesus, too many names in this team.
Telasco
Baltasar
Segovia and
and
Belisario Machuca.
Balistario Machuca, aka Baltasar
Baltasar
Rodriguez. On the left mid. Now, I think that everybody is gonna run and say Baltasar Rodriguez just because he's looked so good. The couple of games we've seen him recently. I know a lot of people say Midgovia. I think Velasco Segovia has been really good also this season. I think he's been a bit underrated, to be honest with you. I love what he gives you when he links up with Suarez and Messi in the top of that box. With all that said, I think Baltasar Rodriguez, the engine that he gives you, because he gets back and he defends more than Segovia does.
Yeah.
And he's just so lively. He stands out when you watch him. I am going to go ahead and I'm going to say I would keep starting Baltasar over Segovia. And I think that he's going to be the starter for Nashville and the playoffs moving forward.
Shout out to Tadeo Allende in the chat. Says, keep hating, but I love you. Okay, nice, Tadeo. I'll tell you this. Talking about this matchup right here, one of the unfortunate things that's happening is, and there's 2 things here. One, you have Baltasar, who's been injured for a while, took forever to recover from his injury. And unfortunately, Telasco Segovia was playing in the wing, doing as best as he could in a position where it's not tailored to him. Like, he is getting Robert tailored, right? Like, you're putting him in a position that it's not his primary position. He likes to play in the middle of the field.
He likes to play centrally, yeah.
Yeah, and so you're expecting better play from him, but then at the same time, like, I don't understand. Like, do they get that they're not putting him at his like advantageous place? Baltasar Rodriguez, you put him at the wing, and he just looks more comfortable there. And then the thing is, Telasco Segovia, he takes a while to kind of move into the game and get comfortable. Like, it's playoff time, baby. We need trophies. I don't got time for that. So I think that this is a little bit easier for me to say Baltasar Rodriguez.
Look, I'm with you. What I saw from Baltasar, I think the activity that he shows when he's on the pitch, I think is much more than what Segovia gives you. Now, he doesn't. I don't think he links up with Suarez and Messi. I don't think he's as technically sound as Segovia is. But he is a lot more active. He gives you a lot more defensively. I think he both are 50-minute players that cannot play a full 90. That's fine.
This is very true.
And that kind of works out because I think Baltasar can start the game and then Segovia can go ahead and finish it off. And now, this was the last one. But if I put this back up, and we're going into the playoffs. Again, I don't feel good about the goalie. But center backs, Toto Aviles would be coming off a bench. That's pretty good.
That's good.
Cello coming off our bench. Hypothetically, Toto comes off the bench, we can move Noah Allen into left back, technically as the backup. Then you have Bright as the backup for either Busquets or Rodrigo de Paul.
Yes.
You have Segovia as the sub for Baltasar Rodriguez. You have I'm blanking here. Silvetti as the backup for Tadeo Allende. I'm sorry. We got a squad here. Now, we don't have any backups for Messi or Suarez, so if one of those get injured, we might be pooped. But if they can stay healthy, nobody can kind of match what they do anyway. We're cooking. I think that this team is looking pretty good because even when we go into our subs late into the game, we're still bringing in solid players.
Yeah, I mean, you just mentioned it. With the backups that we have, those backups would be starters 90 minutes per game on 20 plus teams in the MLS. So, and on top of that, look, Soccer Daddy is mentioning Fafa.
Yeah, and we
Fafa
forgot
is
Fafa.
another sub.
And which Fafa I thought played pretty well the couple minutes he got against Atlanta. So, yeah, we also have Fafa, even though I don't think Fafa is going to get much run in the playoffs, to be honest with you.
And I want to mention something here. Shout out to David Ruiz. Got a contract extension. I don't know if he's going to get Bryce duped, if he's going to get, sent out because of it. He deserves it. And I said this time and time again, David Ruiz, in my opinion, more skilled player than Benjamin Kremaki, who I thought was probably his most closest competition in terms of getting minutes. I wish that David Ruiz was like healthy this season because I think he really would have fucking killed it.
Well, he has next season, so we'll see what he does. Yeah, it's a good young kid.
Yeah.
All right. And sorry, like I said, I hope Ruiz stays. Me too. Ruiz is going to LAFC with Tata. Look, Tata liked that Ruiz. He used to play. He used to play him often. All right, so that was today's show. We just wanted to go ahead and before we have the show tomorrow, when we have our Nashville guest and preview the Nashville game, we wanted to kind of just get our in, right? Because we want to talk about our 11 because that's it. We're going to be coming at you a lot more often. It's playoff season. Now's the time to get hyped. If there's ever the time to get excited about Inter Miami, it's now because the playoffs are starting. So we're getting really excited and we're getting ready. So if you're not watching this live and you want to go ahead and comment who you would start in some of the battles that we talked about during the show, go ahead and let us know what you think. But I think that no matter what you choose, our bench is looking pretty good if everybody can stay healthy for the playoffs.
And before we finish the show, it's me, JV, says, I'm also thankful that David Ruiz has his family here. Poor Bright still can't afford rent. I mean, Bright's renting in Little Havana for sure. Like, he's waiting for the stadium to move so that way he's got like a 10-minute walk to the stadium.
Yeah, and his efficiency. Any final words, Chris?
No, man.
Wait, before your final words.
Yeah.
Battered MLS fans, if you want to keep talking, we're talking Decision Day. Decision Day is MLS. It's a big day. Everything. They play 2 time slots. They play Eastern Conference teams play at 6 o'clock. Western Conference teams play at 9 o'clock. And we're going to be breaking down all the scenarios that you want to look out for on Decision Day if you care about the other MLS teams. So battered MLS fans, go ahead and jump on now if you want to keep talking little football. Go ahead, Chris. Final thoughts.
My final thoughts are I love this concept of the versus episode. And I might as well play the sound because we never did it at all for any of them.
For every one.
We did?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't hear them. Okay, whatever. So I love this. And guys, for those of you that are watching live, please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And chip it into the comments. Let us know who you guys think should be the starters, one or the other. This was a very interactive sort of show. We want everybody to kind of get involved, get their opinions out there, because a lot of this is really weighing on the coach's mind. And to be able to think about what goalie is going to start for your team is absolutely diabolical on the last game of the season. Like, this is decision day. We don't know who's going to start.
I don't feel good
Worst
about the
time
goalie
ever.
situation. I don't feel good about the goalie situation. Soccer Daddy, any guests coming? I don't know if you're talking about the MLS show in a couple minutes or if you're talking about tomorrow's Nashville preview. If you're talking about the preview show tomorrow, yes. If you're talking about the MLS show, no. No, it's just me and Chris just breaking down the scenarios, getting you ready for decision day because it's the biggest day of the MLS season. So with that said, if you're listening on audio, please like and subscribe, comment 5 stars, YouTube, like, subscribe if you haven't. And if you're in the chat, appreciate you hanging out with us. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And we will be back tomorrow talking Nashville preview. Oh, and tomorrow morning, Las Garzas, no, not Las, yeah, Las Garzas. Cafecito con Las Garzas at 6:30 a.m. So if you're up tomorrow morning and you want to hear some football en español, Las Garzas a las 6:30 de la mañana. So until the next one, have a good one.
Vote on Fabian Ranquez.